Sure that this is working for us today. All right, so today you're in for a very special treat. I'd like to think. I don't typically share this type of information. Mostly on this channel, what you're used to receiving is more tutorial based, more how to educational stuff. Very rarely do I share personal personal stuff. And I'm trying to, well, I shouldn't say I'm trying to get better at that. It's just something that I realize. And outside of reading a few books here or there, the whole, sharing my personal stuff has been challenging, but we're not here for that. So today we're looking at the three expensive investments that I've made over the year. And I want to preface this. This is not a Lambo reveal. This is not a Tesla reveal. This is not a new house reveal. It's none of that. The investments that I'm talking about are more investments in myself and my business. And the reason I'm making this video is just to present a different side of, well, the channel. But beyond that, just share a different perspective that might resonate with you. Because we can get into the monotonous very, very quickly. We can get into the this is my life, this is my business, this is how it's always going to go, these are my relationships, and we can get into that rut. And I fell into that rut, and I've been in that rut for a while. I'd like to think that I'm kind of working my way out through it right now, and where I was comfortable with the income that I was making. I was comfortable with the friendships that I had. I was comfortable with the health. And this isn't a looking sharp. Hey, Javier, thanks so much, my friend. Hey, so Javier Vidania, check him out. He's actually a big reason that this camera, although the back is still, I gotta adjust the settings. I gotta adjust the settings. It's it's a phenomenal camera. So thank you so much. Hey there. Oh my gosh, the whole crew is showing up. I appreciate y'all. So when it comes to the expensive investments, again, this isn't meant to be a, hey, look at all the things that I have, because for all intents and purposes, I just think I live a pretty simple life. What I want to share more is investments in myself and in my business without, I don't want you to see it as a braggadocious thing. I don't think that there's anything here that's braggadocious. These are just through a different lens that I want to share kind of what I do and a lot of that stuff. So really, it comes down to YouTube channel has grown tremendously. It has. Thank you all. Thank you all for the fantastic support. I really do appreciate you. And this is something I really realized, right around the pandemic time. I was thinking about, how does my health look? How does my business look? What's things like that. You start having like a quarter life crisis, if you will. I fell in my career, so I was comfortable, and it wasn't until last year that I really started evaluating. Okay, well, you've got a little bit of money. What does your health look like? And that was the first thing that really stuck out to me. I've had 2 knee surgeries, 2 ankle surgeries, so every once in a while I would try running, but it got so bad that I was limping, and I couldn't even walk at that point. So, that's something I've never shared with y'all, because obviously I'm just sitting, so you don't see that. But it was that wake up where I was like, man, I'm 30 something. The time I was 30, I think. No, am I 31? I was born in 88. I don't know how old I am. So I was born in 88, and just realizing that, man, I'm struggling this bad already. So something needs to change. And I've had it on my mind to change it, but it wasn't until really it was this year that I actually made a cognizant effort of changing. So one of those big investments that kind of propelled me into the health kick was more on, for well, I'll leave that part out for now. But one of the big investments that I made was actually in a bicycle. I know it sounds silly, but really it was a purchase of a bicycle that kind of prompted me into this health kick. And I ended up buying a bike. I spent, so in the if you haven't purchased a bicycle in the last 12 months, you're gonna be surprised how expensive they are, and if you can get your hands on one. So since the pandemic, there's shortages and all that fun stuff. So what I thought a bicycle cost was like $100 because I'm used to the Walmart to the Walmart prices, and but turns out they can get very very expensive. So begrudgingly, I ended up having to spend way more than I ever thought I would spend for a bicycle. I ended up spending about $3,500 for a Specialized bike. That's the brand name, and you're a baby. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Karina. Um, so I ended up spending $3,500, and for me, that was an absurd amount of money to spend on a bike. It was just unreal. But I knew that if I was going to take this serious and stop talking about it and start doing something about it, then I needed to purchase that because running was out. So I did some physical therapy, chiropractor, all that stuff. Spent a good amount of money there, but really it's been that bicycle, and just it's really, I don't want to say a godsend because everything is from God, but it's just been such a incredible change in lifestyle. And I don't consider myself a professional cyclist by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just having that accountability of, well, you already spent all this, you spent this obscene amount of money, so you better start using it, and it's an investment. So from that standpoint, that was just huge for me. Now, again, I know it's probably not the type of video that you expect from this channel, and that's for a reason. I really don't share too much of this information. So if this resonates in any way, I hope that this helps somebody, because it's entrepreneurship. Most of you that watch this are entrepreneurs. You're working for yourself, and unless you tap into a community or actively seek a community, it's very rare that it finds you. You know, it's very rare that it finds you. So having that potential for it to help you and resonate with you, that would be fantastic. So that was one thing, the health aspect. And the second investment was on the business side. I understand that, you might call it wealth, you might call it business growth, whatever it happens to be. Let's see, Carrie. Dang, you get a Peloton? I did not. I know that those are in vogue. I don't know how much Pelotons cost, but I got a Specialized bike, so I just ride around the neighborhood for about an hour and call it a good day. Hey Jaime, thank you. Nice Friday startup. Hey, how's it going, Paulo? Appreciate you hanging out. From the wealth side or business side, I understood that really I didn't really have a North Star in terms of if business, and you hear about business coaches all the time. I still personally don't believe in business coaches, in all transparency. Maybe in the future I will. And the reason I don't believe in business coaches is not necessarily because they're not effective. I know that for people it works. I just don't believe that right now, in my level of commitment, I don't think that would work for me. So essentially what I was lacking was discipline. I really wasn't lacking accountability. What I was lacking was discipline, because I'm the type of individual that if I say something and I actually believe it, it's gonna happen. But if I say something just for the sake of saying something, okay, it's gone. It's not gonna happen. And I hope we'll see a video of you biking soon. Hey, you know what? It's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do marketing tips on a bike. That wouldn't be bad. So from the business perspective, I was in that limbo, right? I was like, oh, I don't want to do a business coach because I really don't believe in that. But at the same time, I understand that I've been in the same spot for a while from a business perspective. So how are we going to level up? So I ended up settling kind of in the middle. I started doing business group coaching through a very influential person that I'm not going to mention any of the program's names or anything else like that. It's this isn't a commercial for them or anything that has to do with endorsing them, and just giving you the perspective of the investments that I'm making in myself in the businesses. So I did a group coaching. I bought a group coaching. I shouldn't say session because it's for the year, but that set me back $5,000 if I remember correctly. So it's for the year. I justified it because you can do some write-offs and all that fun stuff. But even beyond the justification, that investment was to help myself for that, get to answer some deeper questions, deeper insecurities in myself. There's a reason that I'm not holding myself accountable. There's a reason that I'm not following through on what I'm saying that I'm gonna do. It's much easier for me to commit to somebody else and help them in their journey in their life and whatever, as opposed to myself. So I understood that there's some questions that needed to be addressed. So I ended up doing some, we'll just call it business group coaching is what we'll call it. I'm as far as the one-on-one business coach and things of that nature, I don't necessarily think that that's the fit for me right now. So we'll just call it group coaching. There. I'm trying to find a way not to say business coach, but effectively that's the group coaching. It really helps me address more deeper questions as opposed to saying, hey, fill out a business plan and let's meet next month. And then next month you need to pay me $1,000. It's not necessarily about the money. Thankfully, God's been good. It's not necessarily about the money. It's just more of what's actually going to move the needle in my business. And so far I can tell you that this group coaching has absolutely done that, has absolutely helped address some insecurities, some trigger points, some reasons why I think the way that I think. It really has me thinking introspectively, or be very introspective about what I'm doing in terms of business, why I do it, in terms of fulfillment. So it's been super cool. It's been super cool to see that. So that's, again, I isolated it into my needs in the health aspect. So taking some big steps there. And about to take a big one as well, not only just from a investment standpoint financially, but more from a time. So there's probably going to be I'll probably make a video about that at some point. From the business side, so from the wealth building side, there's just been some monumental movement. And I have another thing coming up that I really, I'm debating on following through on, but we'll see if that happens. Now, as I was thinking through, okay, well, we've got some health, some health on the way. We've got some wealth on the way, or business growth. I thought about, well, what's actually driving the business right now? And we're actually on it right now. If you're participating on the live stream or watching this in the future, I'm actually in it right now, which is YouTube. So I'm not sure if Javier is still on here, but so Javier Vidania, so he and I are business partners in the YouTube side. And I thought, well, whether I had a program on YouTube or not, something that I understood for myself that needed to really level up is video, is YouTube, is what you're on right now. So I ended up purchasing another group coaching. So it's another group coaching program from a pretty big player in the space that has the credentials, that knows what's going on. That set me back about, I think it was 5,000 as well. These coaches, these folks, they charge well. But again, it's an investment if you can make your money back. If you on it, it's not I refuse to make it an expense. It's an investment. So if it helps you achieve your goals and it generates at least 1 penny more than you put in, that's an investment. So from the YouTube side, I am leveling up. So some of that you've probably already seen in action in the way that the videos are making. And there's going to be some drastic changes in August because I'm moving away from the daily videos, just because there's just been a lot of different things that have motivated me to step away from the daily videos. So the likelihood of this happening every single day is going away. So from the YouTube side, there was that investment. And also from what you're seeing right now, although there's so much blurriness back there, you kind of see these little wavelengths, like it's static. You're seeing a new camera. So it's that fancy camera, the Sony A7S, I think that's what it's called. I'm not that good at cameras, but it was actually Javier, the one that finally motivated me to jump and actually purchase it. So the camera with the lens and all the fixins that comes with it, we're looking at $5,000 again. So for some of you, you may thinking, well, that's a lot of money. For some of you may be thinking, well, that's it. Sure, whatever your perception is on money, whatever your perception is on these numbers, that's the right answer. For me, this is something that although I had the money 5 years ago, thankfully I had the money a long time ago. So I made my wealth before entering into real estate. So just kind of give you a behind the scenes. So I've had this money, but I've never really invested it in myself. So these investments that I've made, it's really not about the money. I needed a catchy title to get this video watched. It's more about the growth that's going to happen. It's the growth that's going to happen with myself, the growth that's going to happen with the channel. But really, it's not going to stop here. I think that the better videos that I put out, the better that I feel health-wise, the better I feel about myself, the better I feel about whatever, the more people that I can help. And at this point, I know I keep saying it's not about the money. Yeah, there's certain elements of it is about the money for your basic needs, but my basic needs have been met years ago. So for me now, it's more about contribution, shifting that why, if you will, where, how many more people can I help? And I know you hear that quite a bit from people that are trying to get into your pocket, but I'm not asking you for anything. I'm not asking you for anything. I've been doing this for about 2018. So for 3 years, and 99.99 this never purchased anything from me, and that's okay. So yo, what's up? Just went full-time in real estate and your content is helping. Appreciate you. Hey, thanks. Welcome to the industry. It's fulfilling if you're willing to get in there and work it. I hope I see a video of you biking soon. Oh yeah. I love it. Well, anyway, so I just wanted to, I know this is a different video. I know you're used to getting something actionable, something like super technical at times. And, sometimes, what I battle with is a lot of the times I feel like I'm just talking at you, right? So I don't think that we're having a conversation, and that's really hampered the growth of this channel. It has. I'm not able to tell a better story. I'm not able to connect, and that's something that as we're talking through these different things, like you're my therapist right now, so thank you. As we're talking through these investments, a lot of that is you kind of see in the recent changes with the videos, but you're going to see a lot more changes in the very near future. So I really do appreciate you coming and hanging out. This video, again, is completely different than what you're used to getting in this channel. So this channel is going through a big revamp presently, and I really do hope that you're there along the way. You've been very supportive so far, and I really do appreciate you for that. If there's anything that I can do for you now or in the future, don't hesitate to reach out. So outside of that, I just want to wish you a happy rest of day whenever you may be watching this, and we'll talk soon.